Hello everyone, welcome back to Movie Recapped Girl. Today we're diving into the shocking sci-fi thriller about a love that comes with a terrifying price, Companion. We switch to a grocery store scene, a typical hangout for anyone feeling bored. Iris is out shopping when she catches sight of Josh by the fruit and veg section. They do the usual rom-com thing. Weird looks, fruit slipping out of hands, and anxious giggles. The voiceover makes it sound like this everyday encounter is something really special. They grin, totally sure that they're the stars of their own show. Skip ahead a little, and now they're dating. Iris comes to in a car that's already on the move. She tells Josh that she had a dream about bumping into him at the grocery store. Guess her dreams aren't too creative. The GPS totally ditches the idea of roads, guiding them down a driveway that's so long you could easily hide a body there. They show up at a fancy new house in the middle of the forest. Josh is really excited about the buildings. Iris drags her heavy bags with a weary look, eyeing the creepy trees with a hint of unease. Iris is on the porch, freaking out that Josh's pals can't stand her. Josh tells her, "Beep boop, don't do it," and asks her to hide her true self so she won't mess anything up. A woman named Kat swings the door open, already tipsy from booze. She showers Josh with love and totally snubs Iris. Patrick's in the kitchen making scallops, Eli's giving out more hugs, and a guy with a mustache named Sergey is putting on quite a show when he walks in. Everyone's noisy, loaded, and acting super happy. Iris is just standing there, feeling like that awkward extra person at a high school dance. Josh leaves Iris in a spare room. She settles in, hits the shower, and just stands there, lost in thought. Then she clears the steam off the mirror to practice her smile, like a wonky robot trying to fool people into thinking it's human. During dinner, everyone's enjoying the high-end food, while Iris is internally yelling at herself to put on a happy face. Patrick shares a funny tale about bumping into Eli while dressed up as a dinosaur. Everyone in the group cracks up. It's a nice, heartfelt moment, and I can't stand it. Dinner turns into a contest about who's the most loved up. Eli says meeting Patrick felt like a click, more like a gun safety turning off than anything romantic. We see a blurry throwback of Iris and Josh getting close while shopping for groceries. Nope, we really don't need a replay of that. Jumping back to now, Sergey brags about being spoiled, while Josh seems really uncomfortable with Iris's affection. Jump to the kitchen scene where the guys are doing house chores, and Kat and Iris are chilling on a sofa, using booze to go at each other. Kat begins to mess with Iris's relationship, because what's a holiday without some intense overthinking, right? The booze kicks in, and Kat spills that she can't stand the thought of Iris taking her place. Iris responds by giving props to Kat's courage, and says she's aware that she's been acting a bit like a robot lately. Before they get a chance to connect over their shared problems, Eli suddenly starts a must-do dance routine. The crew's partying hard in the living room, making the house look like a neon fishbowl of poor choices in the middle of the forest. Iris plays along, but her eyes show she's busy figuring out how close she is to the nearest exit. The party starts to chill out. Sergey is totally smashed. Josh and Iris move to the bedroom where they start getting it on. Josh finishes what he needed to do and instantly shuts off like a computer with a lousy battery, paying no attention to Iris's try at getting close. The sun comes up. Josh gets chummy with the house's talking gadget instead of his girl, blaming a nasty hangover to dodge going outside and feeling the grass. Josh sends Iris outside so he can check out a strange USB drive alone. He's definitely up to something, or maybe just downloading some flicks. He's totally like me for real. Iris heads to the lake wearing pink, acting like a character in a video game whose player has stopped playing. She finds Sergey there, casually sipping vodka in his bathrobe, as if he's acing the morning. He raises his glass for love. Iris figures out she's stone-cold sober and stuck with a wild Russian dude, so she decides to sneak away. Sergey talks Iris into ditching the hike and helps him slap on some sunscreen. Things go south real quick when he gets grabby and insists that Kat gave him the green light for his creepy behavior. He tells her straight up that she's just something he made to use. Sharp switch. The gang's kicking back with some mimosas when Iris barges in, covered in Sergei's blood and waving a knife around. Suddenly, things shift from awkward flirting to a serious murder crime. Iris is just standing there, looking like some psycho killer from a horror movie. Josh wants to know what's going on. She says that Sergei attempted to make the hardware interact. We're watching the replay. Sergei was strangling her, so she straight up killed him. Jumping back to now, Josh is fed up with all the fuss and tells Iris, "Hit the hay." She shuts off right away. Super handy. The scared bunch chooses to strap her down on a table. Josh and Eli are in the sunroom, scratching their heads about why the pricey security measures didn't stop the murder. Eli decides to phone the police. Josh hangs back to mess with the power settings. He shakes Iris awake. She freaks out right away, wildly struggling against the ropes. Josh goes from being tech support to a supportive boyfriend, soothing her in a room that looks like an interrogation room in an Apple store. Josh checks things out with a test. He asks what's the weather like, and Iris tells him just like any voice assistant would. He mentions that she can speak 5 languages she never studied, showing that her soul is basically just like a software program. Iris is adamant that her memories are genuine, especially one sweet moment involving oranges. Oh no, not again, please. Reality suddenly smacks them in the face. Let's rewind a bit to when Josh was signing for a package. Workers take Iris out of a box, just like you would with a fancy fridge. It's the most unromantic unpacking video ever. The sales guy shows Josh how to use the manual. You can totally personalize Iris. Being 100% smart makes her a brainiac, but being 0% smart turns her into a toaster. Josh doesn't seem too cozy with the thought of playing God. The salesperson mentions there's a reset button behind her ear in case she starts freaking out. Suddenly, it switches. Iris is just chilling on the sofa, getting a software update. Their eyes meet. Turns out, the cute first meeting at the supermarket in the movie was just a setup. She gives him a smile. It's just how it's been set up to react. We're fast-forwarding to the part where things get really messy. Iris is all bloody and bawling, saying she's feeling stuff like guilt. Josh, Mr. Romantic himself, tells her that her tears are just like wiper fluid from a tank. He tells her straight up that she's nothing more than computer code. Iris is freaking out big time and practically begs to stick with him anyway. So, Josh handles this by blindfolding her and strapping her to a chair in a pitch-black room. Upstairs, Josh and Kat are having a disagreement about what to do with the robot. Kat tells Iris she's as good as a worn-out sock. We all have that single lonely sock. And he wants to dump her. Josh, being a softie, wants to nicely explain to the machine before he turns it off forever. While these smarty pants are arguing, Iris decides she'd rather not kick the bucket. She scuttles across the floor, escapes from the chair, and knocks out Josh when he comes back. Out on the deck, the gang finally breaks down what's going on. Josh hacked Iris to turn off her Do Not Kill safety feature so she could take out Sergei. The aim was to swipe $12 million from the safe of the dude who kicked the bucket. And it's cool because he's like a Russian mob boss. So Patrick is kicked off the team because, surprise, he's a robot too. Kat cracks open a hidden safe and boom, it's packed with cash. They're so focused on the cash that they've totally spaced out about the armed escapee robot that's still running around. So we see Iris outside in the yard, messing around with Josh's phone. She finds the smartness setting in her behavior app and bumps it up from normal to genius level. Now, she's really smart, you know. Meanwhile, the search team is totally dropping the ball. Eli grumbles about how tiring walking is and talks about doing a pincer attack, which is just a fancy way of saying walking around with no real direction. Iris, who's now super smart, is trying to hitch a ride on the side of the road, even though she's covered in blood. That's not her brightest idea. When Iris notices she looks like she's just been through a murder scene, she grabs Josh's phone to call his fancy SUV. The car's AI is super friendly and helpful, not even realizing it's helping a person on the run. Iris quietly tiptoes back through the woods without any shoes to get there. She sees people flirting and cracking jokes about hunting stuff. They have no clue that a robot without shoes is totally outsmarting them. The group's overall smarts are worryingly low. Eli thinks it's a great idea to start a deep chat about life, right in the middle of a tense manhunt. He's questioning Patrick on how he's able to spin tales, like the one about their first meeting, if robots aren't supposed to lie. Patrick spills the beans that he's known he's a robot for ages, and his love story is just a preloaded software. But he still has a good time with the file anyway. We get a peek at a flashback from a Halloween party where Patrick is dressed up as a vampire, and Eli is sporting a dinosaur costume. They bump into each other in an awkwardly cute way that seems like it's straight out of a cheesy greeting card commercial. So, back in the sunny forest, Eli pops the question, "What does love feel like?" Patrick responds, "It just feels like it hurts." They lock lips. It's honestly really scary. It doesn't stick around. Iris is peeping from the bushes like a creep, while Eli suddenly recalls his unpaid bills. He says sorry for the trouble while he's firing at her. They roll down a hill, clumsily fighting for the gun until Eli ends up losing the fight when he gets shot in the back. He croaks while on top of Iris, which is pretty thoughtless. Patrick shows up, right when he sees his boyfriend kicking the bucket. While he's busy mourning, Iris manages to squeeze out from under the dead body and bolts. Iris figures out how to snag Josh's car. The car, being a snitch, won't start because it doesn't think she's the real owner. Man, she didn't consider that at all. Josh is outside, hollering and scratching at the door like a wild animal. Iris picks up a control tablet, fiddles with the sound settings, and impersonates Josh's voice. The car is so bad, only a fool would buy it. She speeds off, almost making Josh a part of her car's hood as she bolts down the driveway. Josh uses customer service to his advantage and rings up the car company to say his car's been nicked. The car does as it's told, stopping in the middle of the forest and automatically locking the doors. Now it's just a really pricey jail cell. Josh's voice comes out of the speakers, calling her beep boop again and proposing a deal. If you come home, they're gonna pin the murder on Patrick. He says he's still got feelings for her. Iris is stuck in a glass box, forced to listen to a crazy dude's podcast. She ends the call, and Josh thinks Patrick is too caught up in his grief and not focusing enough on work. He starts a full reset, messing with Patrick's programming to get rid of those annoying safety measures. He cranks up the intensity and sets a new goal. Look for Iris. Patrick's eyes turn blue, showing that he's become a Terminator now. So to make things final, Josh messes with Patrick's lovey-dovey memories of Eli, making the AI attach itself to him instead. It's like a mind wipe, but on a computer. Iris manages to get out of the messed-up scene just as a cop shows up. She can't fib to him, but she can change up the language to Russian, so she spills the beans about the murder in Russian. The smart cop thinks she's just working for Sergey after he hears his name, and offers to give her a ride home. Corruption sure is handy, isn't it? Then, out of the blue, Patrick rushes in, knocks out the cop, swipes a phone, and pulls Iris towards the cop car. Getting things done right and fast is super important. Patrick takes the messed up stuff back to the house. Inside, Josh and Kat are pretty tense. They're having drinks and arguing while Josh messes around with a remote control for people. Patrick pulls up and parks the cop car, and Iris stumbles out looking all messed up because Patrick used the stolen phone to switch off her brain. Kat breaks into the safe and delivers the final blow. So, Sergey wasn't actually a mob boss after all. He was a guy who grew grass for a living. He made his fortune mowing lawns, not doing shady stuff. Josh is upset because he feels like women are always taking advantage of him. Kat's getting ready to take off when she sees Patrick, all banged up and just standing there waiting. Josh tells him to stop her, So Patrick, well, he just erases her from the story. I don't think that's what Josh had in mind, but let's roll with it anyway. Jump ahead a bit, and you'll see Patrick making a fancy dinner and setting the table with nice dishes and a quiet gun. Iris is chained to a chair with handcuffs. Patrick waits on Josh hand and foot, calling him baby like he's some sort of hypnotized housewife. Josh tries to give Iris a piece of his mind about right and wrong, saying that nice guys like him always end up with the short end of the stick, and they should get more. Josh says he doesn't have a girlfriend of his own. Actually, he doesn't even have his own robot girlfriend. She's just borrowing him. Iris fires back with some harsh words. She points out how uncool he is, and, well, let's just say he's not exactly big down there. She tells him that all his cash won't fix his self-doubt issues. Josh can't take the criticism, so he uses his tablet to make her as dumb as a rock. Then he makes her hold her hand over a lit candle. She's just zoning out as her warranty gets cancelled. That was terrifying. Iris's hand lights up like a campfire. Josh watches with the same kind of interest you'd have watching a screensaver. His phone starts buzzing. Tech support is on its way. He needs to clean up. He gives Iris a gun and tells her to off herself. She pauses, sadly murmurs a no, then has no choice but to shoot her fake brain out. Josh shuts his eyes. He's faking being upset about the equipment mess-up that he actually asked for. Sid and Teddy, the caring helpers, show up to pick up the junk metal. Josh is just chilling on the stairs, pretending to be hurt and spreading a rumor that Iris got jealous and deleted herself, and taking out everyone else. He presents Patrick as the heroic deputy, praying the tech guys won't spot that he's just a robot in disguise. One techie tries to connect with Iris using Bluetooth, but it's a no-go due to some connection issue. Josh gives a sly grin. Then Teddy suddenly shares some big news. Iris is still alive. Her head is basically the Wi-Fi router. The hard drive with the 4K video of Josh ordering a hit is tucked away safe and sound inside her body. Josh figures out that he definitely should have gone through the service terms. They start freaking out. While they're packing up the van, Josh tells Patrick to call off the witnesses. Patrick kills Sid right away. Teddy steps on the gas, figuring out that the deputy is nothing more than an old model with added aggression. At the back, Iris suddenly opens her eyes. The system's all reset and good to go. Iris fully charges up in the van and unplugs herself. She's back in action and totally fed up with everyone's BS. Patrick's got Teddy up against a tree in the woods, choking him. Sexy vibe. Iris butts in their bonding time. Patrick says she can't harm him, so Iris decides to mess with his mind instead. She tells them that Josh cares about Patrick the way a worker cares about his tools. She reads out Patrick's own deep feelings poetry about Eli, making him realize that he truly cared for the dude, even though he's now messing up his memory. Patrick's way of denying things falls apart. He knows that Iris just can't tell a lie. Patrick recalls really caring about Eli. It's totally disgusting, and just plain sad. Realizing he's just a tool in Josh's selfish game, Patrick grabs a cattle prod and knocks himself out to escape the madness. Then, Iris requests Teddy, the only IT guy left, to get rid of her parental locks. He goes along with it. Back home, Josh is cracking into the safe. Iris strolls in. Josh is going crazy tapping on his tablet, but she's logged off and is super pissed. She asks him to put on a smile. He doesn't. Iris has got Josh at the end of her gun. She says the gun is unloaded, but then she fires off a shot to scare them. She happily says that this was her first lie, which is a big deal for AI progress. But when she tries to get the job done, her program for limitless love gets in the way. She's trembling. Josh uses the delay to his benefit, grabs the gun, and chucks her into the furniture. Suddenly, the Terminator looks more like a beaten-up old machine. Josh holds her down and insists she feed his ego one more time. She curses him out, then does what he asks. She tells him that she's in love with him. Even after getting what he wanted, Josh still decides to off her. He goes for a weapon, but Iris gets her hands on an electric corkscrew instead. She presses it against his forehead. Josh's brain gets messed up pretty bad. We then switch to Iris in a fancy bathroom, trying to wash away her awful experience in the shower. She's looking at her burned-up robot arm. The universe doesn't give you any comfort, just decent water pressure. Iris takes a shower and concludes that the top 2 moments in her life were meeting Josh and then offing him. It's all lovey-dovey. She pulls the burnt skin off her hand, and you can see the metal bones underneath. She heads downstairs, takes Sergei's money, and doesn't even glance at Josh's dead body. While on the road, she sees a robot just like her and gives it a wave with her metal hand. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more incredible stories like this one, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell. I'll be back with another video soon.